do CatBurglar. I'm going to open up Clickteam Fusion 2.5. And I'm going to open up the CatBurglar library. So I right click down below here, I click New. Now I go to my game design folder. I go into Project 3 because this is Project 3 and there's my CatBurglar library. And I click OK to open it. And I call it CatBurglar library. Double click it. And double click it to open it. So now I need 3 screens. So I'm going to go Insert, New Frame, and Insert, New Frame. Frame 1 I'm going to call, right-click, Rename. I'm going to call this one Start. Right-click Frame 2. I'm going to rename it, and I'm going to call it Game. Right-click Frame 3. I'm going to rename this one Win, so I'm going to need a lose screen. So I'm going to click Application 1, go Insert, New Frame, and we'll call it Lose. We'll call that the Lose frame. Okay, so we're all set here. So I'm going to save this. I click my Save button. It says, where do I want to put it? I want to put it in my Game Design folder. So I look for my Game Design folder. And I find Project 3. And I call it CatBurglar. Okay, so I'm going to make a start frame here. So I double click the start frame, the start thumbnail. And I click Start up here. That'll give me the settings for this particular, the properties for the whole frame. So I want to give it a background color. So I don't know, I'm going to give it a nice pretty color. How about a yellow? Okay. So now I'm going to put up here my Start button. Okay. And I would also like to put a name up here. Since this is red, I think I'll use red lettering. So I'm going to click Insert, New Object. So in my Objects toolbar here, I'm going to go down and find Text, T-E-X-T. You click String. I click OK. And I put up here, welcome. Put up here CatBurglar. I click on that again. I want to change the height and all that. So I'm going to click the A. And I want it red, right? I click red. And now I'm going to click Tahoma. So I want to bump up the size. Maybe jazz up, give it a jazzy font of some kind. Now click on it and resize it. And I want to kind of center it on the page, so I come up here and center it. Okay. So I'm going to put in something in here, watch out for the blades or something like that, you know. So I'm going to click Insert, New Object. I can do a string again, just click OK. And type in here, watch out for the blades. So I click over here with the red check mark, which is my settings. And I type in here, watch out for the blades. So now I want to resize this, don't I? So I click on the A again. I click on my RGB. I want to do this red again. I'm going to resize this. So I'm going to click up. And I think home is fine. I'll just use that. Click OK. Click again. So I get my sizing handles, those little dots. Then I just resize it. And you kind of center it. There you go. If you want to decorate this, you can. I don't think there's any problem with that. I can put up a blade, for example. And I'll double click it and just drag it out, make it bigger. I can copy it and put one over here. So there you go. I just decorated it, that's all. You can do what you want. Now we got to make it work, so we need to go into the event editor. So I go over here, view, I'm event editor. View, event editor. So I want to click this. Now the user is clicking the mouse, isn't he? So I'm going to click on the mouse. The mouse, user clicks on an object. Come all the way down, find user clicks on an object. Yes, I want a left button, single click. That's fine. So what am I clicking? The start button, right? So what I want to happen when user clicks the start button, I want him to go to the next frame. So I come over here to storyboard controls. That's the third one in. And I right click, next frame. It's the third one in if your slide bar is all the way over here, right? You got it. So now I'm going to go into the game. And I'm going to color up the background. So I click my background color here. And I think I'll do this one blue. So I come all the way up to the top so I can line up my maze, my amazing maze. So I put the dotted lines right up there. And I want to lock it in place. So I right click it. I click align in frame. No, I'm going to lock it. It's already aligned. But you can line it up if you'd like. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is put the ruby up here. So I'm going to put the ruby right up here in this open space. And I'm going to cover it with the chest. I'm going to hide it. Okay? All right, so far. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the cat. He's going to start out in this corner. So I want to put, since the cat's a player, I want to put some motion on him. So I'm going to come over here to the running man. And I'm going to click static. Now I'm going to choose up here non-physical movements. I'm going to try 8 directions. Okay, he can go all these directions. So let's run the game and see how this looks so far. Run application. So click the start button. Now I can move the cat any particular way, right? So far, so good. Now, in order to open up this chest, I want the cat to have 4 keys. See, there's 4 keyholes, so I want to have 4 keys up here. So I put a key up here. Okay. I put a key over here. And I put a key over here. And a key over here. Okay. Yeah, I think it goes like this. Very good. So we got some basic things in play here. So right now nothing happens, so we need to go to the event editor to make something happen. So I'm going to go View, Event Editor. So I have me a condition here. Okay, the cat needs to be controlled in the maze. So when the cat collides with another object, and this being the maze, I don't want the cat to bounce. I don't want him to bounce into the blade. He'll die pretty fast. So I'm going to have him stop at the maze. Click OK. So when the cat collides with the maze, the cat's going to stop. So underneath the cat, I go right click, movement, stop. Not bounce, stop. Okay. There was another thing that I want to happen. When the cat collides with .ruby, he's going to go to the win frame right here. So, okay, I'm going to have cat, collision, another object. That's going to be the ruby. Click OK. The cat wins when he hits the ruby, so he's going to go to the win frame. So I go right here underneath storyboard controls, my third one in if I'm all the way over here. Right click, next frame, because the win screen is the next frame. See that? So what else do I want to happen? I want the cat to bounce off the chest. The cat's not getting that diamond until he opens the chest. So I'm going to right click here, cat, collision, another object. If he collides with the chest, I want him to bounce. Click OK. So under the cat, I go right click, movement, bounce. So this cat's bouncing off the chest. All right, so how do I open the chest? Every time the cat runs into a key, he's going to collect the key and open one of the locks. So we're going to have a collision with the cat and the key. Right click, cat, collision, another object. The cat's colliding with the key. So we're going to destroy the key when the cat collides with it. So underneath the key here, right click, destroy. Destroy is the last option in the list. Okay, so now every time the cat hits the keys, it's going to destroy. All right, so let's see what our game looks like so far. Run the application. So now the cat's going, and every time he runs into a key, okay, keys are going away, aren't they? And the cat's constrained within the maze. He can't go outside the maze anymore. Now let's see, he's supposed to bounce off that chest. Let's see if this happens. Or if we go to the windscreen. Yep, he's bouncing off the chest. That's what's supposed to happen. He can't cheat and get that ruby without going through the maze. So what I want to happen now is I want, when he gets all the keys, I want him to open the chest. Okay? So I'm going to put a new condition here, right click. So now I want to see if all my keys are gone. So I right click the key. If all the keys are gone, that's a pick or account condition. So I want to see if all the keys have been destroyed. Have all the keys been destroyed? So if that condition is true, all the keys have been destroyed, we're going to destroy the chest. So right click under the chest. It's the last option, destroy. Okay. So we're going to go back into the game view. Okay. And this time what we're going to do is we're going to put a lives object up here. Yeah. So I'm going to click insert, new object. I'm going to choose games on the left and I'm going to choose lives. I click OK. Let's put some lives up here. You'll see what we do with lives real soon. All right. So this is an easy game to win right now, right? The cat just collects all the keys and he opens the chest. No challenge to this at all. Let's introduce some challenge. Next thing we're going to do is pull up the blade. So I'm going to click on the blade to see my blade properties. I'm going to click movement, which is the running man. I got to click static. I'm going to give him the non-physical movement bouncing ball. Okay, so now I'm going to click on that fuzzy movement, fuzzy initial direction here. And I'm going to erase all directions. I only want him to go up and down. Okay? Up and down. The blade goes up and down. Right now he's moving very fast. I want to reduce his speed. So I reduce his speed from 60 and I type in 15. So I'm changed the bouncing ball, made him go up and down, changed the speed from 60 to 15. That's a couple more things I need to do too. So I just drag this on down. I need to change the number of angles from 32 to 8. So I click this down, click on 8. I need to change the randomizer from 20 to 0. So I click down here and I type in 0. I need to change security to 0. So I click on security and I type 0. Okay, you with me so far? Good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the animation editor. And to do that, I double click on the blade. So now I have to find the center of the blade. To find the center of the blade, I click on the eye icon, the eye right here. Look for the hot spot. The hot spot's over here. I need it in the center. So I can click here in the center to move it, or I can do a quick move here, moving it in the center. At any rate, you should see 15, 15. Okay, so now it's going to rotate around the center of the blade, not out here in space and make it wobbly and weird. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a rotation. So I right click on frame 1 here. I click rotation and I want it to be 10 frames long in my rotation. And I want it to go clockwise. I don't think that's important whether you choose clockwise or counterclockwise, but I like mine to go clockwise. So I got 10 movements here. See all those 10 movements? With 10 frames. So far, so good. So I click play. It spins once. I want it to keep on spinning. How do I do that? Well, I go into here, the direction options tab, and I click loop. This will make it keep it spinning all the way through the game. I click play. There you go. It keeps on spinning. Okay, let's see what. I can click OK. So let's see what this looks like. I'm going to have to replace this because it moved. I changed the eye so that changed where that was. So this is guarding this key. So let's see this. I click Run Application. So see it goes off the stage. So I need to have the maze restrain the key. I mean the blade, just like the maze restrains the cat. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to go into the event editor. I'm going to click my new condition. The blade, collision, another object. Blade collides with the maze, okay? What do we want to happen when the blade hits the maze? We want the blade to bounce. So I go here and find my blade. Right click, movement, bounce. There you go. So what happens if the blade collides with the cat? Okay, so let's do that thing. Collision, the cat, we'll have the cat, collision, another object. Cat runs into the blade. So what's going to happen? We're going to have the cat lose a life. So we go here under joystick 1, right click. Number of lives, subtract from number of lives, 1. Okay? Here we go. So that's all set so far. go back into the event edit, to the frame editor. I'm going to double click on game. And I'm going to duplicate this. So I right click this, copy here. Now I'm guarding this blade. Be careful, don't put it in the hole because it starts to act real weird. Okay. Right click, duplicate. Oops. Well, I guess I can do that too. Right click, copy here. I bring the other copy to guard this key. Now I'm careful not to put it in the hole. I want to guard the key, but I don't want to be, I want it to be controlled. I don't want it to go wonky and do what it's not supposed to do. All right, let's see how this works. Okay, I'm going to go run application. Click on start, and there you go. Now my blades are spinning. Let's see how the cat fares. Oh, I did that one all right. A little more challenging, isn't it? Oh, he lost a life there. He lost life there. He lost his last life. There's no consequence to the cat yet, but he went to the windscreen. So the next thing we'll do is we'll build in the consequence, what happens when the cat loses his lives. All right, so far so good. So let's go into our event editor. So go view event editor. So we're going to go here. Joystick 1, compare to player's number of lives. Does he have 0 lives here? When the number of lives equals 0, we want him to lose and go to lose screen. So I right click here and I click jump to frame because it's 2 down. Okay, I want him to go to the lose frame. So there you go. Click lose here. Click OK. All right. Now we're going to make an animation for the cat. Let me go back in the game frame here. We're going to click on the cat. Or you can click on the cat here. It's the same thing. I'm going to double click and go into the animation editor. So I want to make a new animation for the cat. And when he hurts, I want him to turn red. Okay, so click new. Call this animation hurting. Click OK. So now this becomes a blue diamond. What I'm going to do is come over here to my stopped animation, click the cat, and right-click copy the cat on the stopped animation. And I'm going to come down to the hurting animation. I'm going to right-click paste, right-click paste. I have 2 copies of the cat. So now I can delete this first frame here. I right-click delete. So now I want to do, so I'm going to click on the second cat here, and I want to color him red. So I click my paint bucket here. I find my red color, and I pour it into the frame here, okay? Click OK. So now I'm going to go back into my event editor, and when he hits a blade, I want him to turn red. So I'm going to go view, event editor, and I'm going to right click under the cat right here on line 7 when he hits the blade. Right click under the cat, and I want to change the animation. Okay, I want to change the animation sequence. So I want him to choose the hurting animation. I go OK. So now let's see what it looks like. I'm going to run application. Now I'm going to run the cat into the blade. See him turn red. There you go. All right, he lost his lives. Now we're all ready to make our win and lose screens. So I double click my win. I'm going to make this a color. So I click on my RGB, my win screen. It's going to be a happy color. Make it nice and orange. Okay, so I'm going to click Insert, New Object. I come back to All Objects and come down and find the word Text. Click on String, click OK. We're going to put in here, congratulations, you won. So I'm going to color this up. I'm going to click the A here, and I'm going to click this. So I think that I kind of like a purple, a plum color. I'm going to put plum here with orange. And I'm going to click Tahoma, and I'm going to bump this up. 36, that looks nice and big. You find some fancy writing here, sketch flow, I like that. Click OK. And I'm going to drag this out. Now in small letters, I'm going to write, do you want to play again? So I'm going to click here, Insert New Object. So I'm going to click a string again. Click here, and I'm going to click on my red check mark here and ask, do you want to play again? So I'm going to click on my A, and I'm going to color this up. I've got that one purple. Let's see, what's complementary color? Oh, I don't know. A darkish blue, maybe. Well, lighter blue. There you go. So I'm going to bump it up and use, I think I'll use sketch flow again. I don't want it as large as that one. Maybe a 20. That's big enough. So I click OK. So I'm going to put my start button down. Drag my start button here. I'm going to go into my event editor. Go View, Event Editor. Right click New Condition. The player clicks the mouse, doesn't he? Mouse. User clicks on an object. He's clicking on the start button, right? With the left mouse, single click, right? Okay, good. He's clicking on the start button. So what we want to happen when he clicks on the start button? He restarts the game. He's out of lives. You know, you don't want him to be popping back into the lose thing all over again. You want him to start all over. So click Restart the application. Okay, let's make the lose frame now. Let's put a sad color up here. What could be sadder than black? Let's put black. Okay, we'll put red. So we'll go Insert, New Object, String. Okay, remember it's under text here. Click OK. Put it here so you can see it. Put so sorry you lost. Click Enter. Now I'm going to go over here, click my A to color it up. Click this and put it nice and red. And I want to put it here in Tahoma. And I'll do sketch flow again, and I'll put it up to real big. That's good size. Click OK. So I'll drag this on screen, and I'll get my sizing handles up. And just resize it. Center it. Now I'll put up here, do you want to play again? Go Insert, New Object, click my string again. Do you want to play again? Click on my red check mark here. And just click. Now I click on the letters. Once again, I'm out here in the gray area so I can see it. And I change the color here. I'll put yellow this time. And I'll click Tahoma and I'll bump it up. And maybe go back to the same letter style. Go here, okay. I'll drag this up here and I'll stretch it out. And I'll put my start button up here. Now all I have to do is go into my event editor. Let's go View, Event Editor. Click New Condition. It's an object. User clicks on an object. So when the user clicks on the object, left button, single click, yep, that's true. He clicks on the start button. We want it to restart the application. So underneath the storyboard controls, I right click and I go restart the application. Okay. So we're all done. Let's try it. I'm going to do run application. So I click it. Will it bounce off the chest? Yes. One more shot. Now let me lose. So there you go. My game is done.